When you tryna work on yourself, gotta leave that bitch, you don't need that bitch. When I wake, I go pull up on sip on shit, and I'm gonna get sick. Nigga, Mike ain't shooting sweet, I took this Glock, can't see my stick.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy TB2, man. 3 letters, same fucking thing, man. Today we gonna be getting to this banger video. Oh shit. We got 21 Savage dad just exposed him. I seen a clip of this shit, and I was just like, damn, what the fuck? We didn't even know that nigga was like, you know what I mean? Well, we finna get into it, man. We finna get to this banger video, man. Let's talk it, man. Let's do it.
I can relate. I used to say my dad was dead. I can
Right,
relate.
and then it went from I'm dead to us back.
Mad. Did you crack though?
What the f am I gonna smoke crack for?
You ever talked to him since?
Nah, I ain't talked to him since I was probably like heard his voice, like talked to him on the phone. I probably ain't talked to him since I was like.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. You could tell this is his dad by the nose. That nose husky as shit, my boy.
Well,
You interested?
not really, cause it's like I'm a man now.
What if everything you thought you knew about 21 Savage's origin story was a complete lie? Picture
tell
this,
that's his
a
dad, real
father
shit.
in London watching his son become a global superstar while telling the world he's dead, that he's a substance abuser, and that he abandoned his plot twist that's about to shake the hip-hop world. Kevin Emmons, 21 Savage's biological father, just stepped forward with receipts that expose years of alleged deception. We're talking phone records, bank transfers, and detailed accounts that completely contradict the narrative 21's been pushing since day one. This man claims he was there for 7 years straight, paid for everything, and got completely erased from his son's story. The streets are buzzing, the internet is going crazy, and the evidence he's presenting is absolutely wild. So if you want to discover the real truth behind one of hip-hop's biggest family scams,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If y'all put it like, let's put it in a perspective, like if y'all was to take off in whatever field that you in, right? And you feel like your dad didn't do as much, so you just let that nigga back in that dirt. What would y'all do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, would y'all still claim y'all dad, or like what's going on? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. For real, for real. I feel like it's a lot of more people that do that.
Allegedly lying to millions of fans, you need to stay locked in until the very end, because what you're about to hear is going to flip everything upside down. Before we get into the drama, let me paint you the real picture of how this all started. 21 Savage, whose real name is Shea bin Abraham Joseph, was actually born in London, England in 1992. His father, Kevin Emmons, is from Brixton, South London. Born and raised in that area his whole life, Kevin describes himself as heavily into music from day one. Break dancing, graffiti, DJing, rapping, dancing. Music was literally in his DNA. He even appeared on BBC shows back in the day, performing dance routines and participating in non-smoking hip-hop videos. Kevin paints a picture of a man who was raised with strong values. He was the youngest of 6 children, and he emphasizes that he couldn't step out of line because his mom, dad, brothers, and sisters were all watching. He describes his father as the baddest man on the planet, and says the last person he wanted to upset was his dad. This family structure kept him away from trouble. He didn't want to bring police or any kind of problems to his house because that would be like suicide to him. Now here's where it gets interesting. Kevin met 21's mother at a party in East London. He was there with his brothers, and this is important because Kevin emphasizes that everywhere he went, everything he did was with his family. That's just how they moved. When they met, she was the one who approached him, not the other way around. They started seeing—
Damn, they all got a fucking nose on them. Oh God, no bullshit. Like nose husky as shit.
each other, and boom, she got pregnant with what
no
would become
denying that.
21 Savage. But here's the plot twist that nobody talks about. Kevin says the pregnancy wasn't planned, and when they found out she was expecting, she immediately told him he needed to cut off his entire family and move to America with her. But it gets deeper. She was involved in something called the Nuwaubian movement, which Kevin describes as a renegade version of Islam that was mostly cultured towards black people. She started handing him pamphlets and readings that basically painted everyone who wasn't black as the devil. Kevin couldn't get with that ideology because because he believed evil comes in all forms, regardless of color. Bro, imagine being 21 years old and your girl tells you to abandon your whole family and join what sounds like a cult to follow her to another country. Kevin said hell no to that, which ended their romantic relationship, but he made it clear he was still going to be there for his son.
He's going into another country. Yeah, he's going to a totally different country. Not by my choice, right? That's not my choice. First of all, that's not my choice. Why is he going to America? Why is he going to America? He's going to America, yeah? His mum is now married to his now stepdad, yeah? So they're going for a fresh start. Who says he needs a fresh start? She needs the fresh start. He don't need no fresh start. What he needs is what he's had already.
Now this is where Kevin's story gets really detailed, and it's completely different from what 21 has said in interviews. According to Kevin, for the first 7 years of 21's life, he was heavily involved. We're talking every single weekend, Friday night after work, Kevin would drive to pick up his son, bring him back to his mom's house where all the cousins and family would be together. School holidays, Easter, 6-week summer break, Christmas, 21 was with his father's family. Kevin also
So he was really involved with his son's life, so I wonder why, like, what really happened, like, what took 21 Savage to say, like, fuck you type shit, like, but we gonna get into this shit, though.
That 21 was incredibly intelligent as a child. He tells this story about walking down the street and young 21 asking him, "Dad, what are you smoking for? You know you might die earlier and I don't want you to die." Imagine a little kid saying that to his father. That's some deep emotional intelligence right there. Kevin describes 21 as being over the moon every time he was with his dad's side of the family, always happy, very intelligent, but sometimes getting on his nerves with how smart he was.
I love my son, yeah? I love my son.
What do you want? Do you want a relationship with him? Do you want to see him? Do you want him? Do you get what I'm trying to? What do you want?
I want him to pick up the phone and talk to me. That's
Yeah,
all I
like,
want.
what do you like? Don't.
That's it.
You
But here's where the mother's agenda becomes clear. Kevin says that throughout those 7 years, every single time he picked up his son, the mother would ask the same question. "You know we're going to America? You can always come with me." Even after their relationship ended, she kept pushing this narrative that Kevin should abandon his life in London to follow them to America. Kevin points out that this ended their relationship in the first place, so why would she keep asking the same question? The breaking point came when 21 was 7 years old. It was a Sunday. Kevin remembers it like it's burned into his brain. When he dropped 21 off, the mother gave him an ultimatum. "We're leaving Monday. You can either leave him with you, come with us, or I'll send him back every 6 months." Now Kevin knew she wasn't really going to leave 21 with him, and he could see that his son was a mama's boy who couldn't be without his mother. Kevin made what he thought was the logical choice. Let 21...
That's another thing too, like, that shit even more hard, because I got kids myself, and like, having your kids love their mom, like, that's just like, you know what I'm saying, like, we not finna, us men, we not finna goddamn take our kids away from our goddamn, from their mom, but like, you know what I'm saying, vice versa, the fucking, the bitch, you know what I mean, they'll do that shit, quick, fast, in a hurry, you know what I'm saying, but like, us men, we understand, like, if our kids really love their mom, why the fuck we gonna take them away from it? That shit stupid as hell. But not saying like they need their dad too, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if their mamas, they own their mama hip all the time, like, that shit'll just fuck them up, you know what I mean?
Go with his mother, but
They
maintain the
need both
relationship
parents,
through
though.
regular
Don't get me wrong.
visits, just like the weekend arrangement they'd been doing for 7 years. So he agreed to the 6-month arrangement, thinking it would provide consistency for his son. What Kevin didn't know was that moving to America would completely transform his son's life in ways that would eventually lead to tragedy. When 21 arrived in Atlanta at age 7, he had to navigate a completely different world. He had to go to school, blend in with new kids, and even develop a fake accent because other students were making fun of his British accent. On his very first day of school, they started calling him names because of how he spoke, so 21 beat up one of his bullies and earned the nickname Taekwondo Kid.
I got in a fight on the first day of school. Oh God.
From the jump?
Yeah, they used to tease me. Like, I went to Dunnell Elementary. That was the first elementary school I went to.
Okay.
So I get on the bus or whatever, they making fun of me on the way to school.
Okay.
So we get on the bus to go home, they making fun of me on the way home.
Okay.
It's like one of the older dudes, like his little brother was the main one. So the older brother was like, said something like, basically like, shit, fight him. So we get off the bus, I beat him up. So all the girls, they run and tell my mama.
Okay.
At the door. So
Your sisters?
No,
Kids in the neighborhood.
Kids in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So they run, they tell my mama, cause they started, I really was kicking a lot. They started calling me Taekwondo Kid. On my mama. It's a true story on my mama.
Initially, 21 was an excellent student. He won spelling bee competitions and math competitions in the same year. But as he got older, he realized that no matter how well he did in school, his immigration status meant he couldn't get into university or get a good job. This realization led him to start sleeping during classes and eventually getting involved in drug dealing at just 13 years old. The situation escalated when 21 brought a gun to school. There were people from another neighborhood who didn't like him and wanted to give him problems, but his crew was older and already in high school, so he had no protection. He hid the gun during in-school suspension but was caught on camera. Another student testified against him, and 21 ended up on probation. By 8th grade, even though he was on good behavior, 21 got kicked out of school for a bus incident where students were misbehaving. Even though he didn't participate in throwing things at the driver, girls identified him as one of the troublemakers. When his mother found out he was kicked out, she grounded him for the first time, locking him in the house to watch his younger siblings. But 21 was still leaving the house. His cousin eventually told his mother about him taking stolen cars and joyriding, which led to more punishment. This pattern of rebellion and street activity continued until his tragic 21st birthday, when everything changed forever. Here's where Kevin's story gets really heartbreaking, and it exposes what he calls a pattern of lies. The mother promised that 21 would come back to London every 6 months. In 23 years, according to Kevin, 21 came back exactly once, in 2005, one time in over 2 decades. Kevin even paid for 21, his sister and his mother, to come back in 2005 because he wanted to see his son so badly. But Kevin didn't just sit back and do nothing. He was calling regularly, every couple of days at first. He'd call when he was at his mother's house so that 21 could speak to everyone. Because Kevin understood that kids don't just have relationships with their parents. They build relationships with 21 grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Kevin was trying to maintain all of those connections for his son. The phone situation is where things get really messy. Kevin says that when 21 needed a phone, he agreed to pay for it because it meant they could have direct communication without going through the mother. Kevin was paying for international calling plans, spending $20, $25, $40, sometimes $100 a month on phone bills. But here's the kicker. 21 never called him, not once. Kevin was paying all this money for a phone that his son never used to reach out to his father.
Mike, I got you this phone. It's so that you could phone me and I can phone you. 5th month, $100. 6th month, $100. 7th month, $100. But you're not even phoning me. Why am I spending all this money on this phone and you can't even punch in my numbers, one, call me and hang up the phone so that I know I can call you back?
You know what it is?
Did you have this conversation with him?
I had this conversation with him plenty of times.
Kevin describes having this conversation with 21 multiple times. The reason I got you this phone is so you can call me and I can call you.
Damn, I feel it though. It's something deeper than what we think it is. Sometimes with parents and shit like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes like the mom be doing like little bullshit and shit like that too, like putting a little word in, like in the kid's ear, shit like that. Also, like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like bro should have just came to America, to be honest, like, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I understand it too, but bro should have just came to America. If you spending all that money, bro, you literally let your son, bro, you gonna do whatever it takes to see him, and you was, but you should have just came to America. That's where he was at.
You back. Just call me once and hang up so I know I can call you back. But it never happened. Eventually, Kevin got frustrated and stopped paying for the phone, which 21 later used as ammunition against his father. Kevin also reveals that he went to America in 2004 to visit 21, showing that he was making efforts to maintain the relationship. He paid for his first court case when 21 got in trouble. Kevin was sending money regularly, and he points out that every transfer would have his name as a reference, so there should be bank records proving his financial support. Now let's talk about the lies that Kevin is calling out. First, when 21 Savage first became famous, he told people his father was dead. Kevin was very much alive, living in London, and had to watch his son tell the world that he didn't exist. Can you imagine how that must feel as a parent? Kevin describes going to the chip shop and seeing himself in the center of newspaper spreads when 21 got arrested by ICE.
I just want a phone. Just send me $100 a month, bro, so I can have me a little Metro. You know what I'm saying? I'm in middle school now. Everybody got phones and shit. He ain't want, like, he sent $100 and then he just stopped sending the shit. So I started selling weed to get me a phone, shit like that. But I ain't gonna lie, I used to be hurt by that shit. Like, damn, why my daddy won't fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? But then as I got older, it was just like, really fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I get out here on my own. I'm a grown man now.
But when he wanted to tell his side of the story, no press was interested. Then the story evolved. It went from my dad is dead to my dad smokes that stuff. Now Kevin addresses this directly in the interview, and he's clearly hurt by this accusation. When asked if he ever smoked that substance, Kevin responds with genuine confusion and pain. He explains that back in the day, there might have been peer pressure around certain substances, but he never went down that path because he had people around him who steered him away from that lifestyle. Kevin emphasizes that he was raised with strong family values. He was the youngest of 6 children, and he couldn't step out of line because he had his mom, dad, brothers, and sisters all watching him. He specifically says the last person he wanted to upset was his father, so bringing any kind of trouble to the house was like suicide to him. The substance accusation is particularly painful because Kevin sees it as his son using his platform to destroy his character. Here's a man who worked regular jobs. He mentions working in the post office and with his father, tried to maintain a relationship with his son across continents, and his reward is being publicly labeled as an addict by his own child.
Me losing my son is bad enough, but to lose my brethren along the way, and then I've made it and I can't bring them with me, and everything I used to dream about that we was gonna do, I can't do it with them.
I really hope everything works out for the best. Honestly. Do you know what I mean? I can see that it hurts you a lot. And I really do hope that.
It hurts me for the fact that it's all the interviews he done after when I was in my worst state. That's what hurts me. It's after the loss, then came all the my dad this, my dad that, my dad this, my dad that. Man, have some empathy. I just lost your brother. There's no reason to put me down even more.
Kevin also addresses the confusion about 21's stepfather, who some people thought was his biological father. There was a whole situation where people thought this other man was 21's dad because of old pictures, but Kevin clarifies that he's the biological father and has been from day one. One of the most controversial parts of this whole story is what happened when 21 Savage got shot 6 times on his 21st birthday in 2013. This is where Kevin's version of events directly contradicts what 21 has said in interviews. The shooting happened during what was supposed to be a celebration. It was 21's birthday, his friend Johnny's birthday, and Johnny's relative's birthday all on the same day. 21 and Johnny had planned to book a hotel room for the weekend to celebrate. Johnny called 21 because one of the speakers in his car went out, and he knew 21 had a car with speakers in the trunk. When they met up, Johnny suggested they run errands in 21's car. That's when 2 gangsters attempted to murder them. One jumped in the back seat and said, "Get up," while another stood outside the car. During the struggle, 21 got shot 6 times. In his arm twice, his collarbone, his neck, his hand, and his finger. Johnny died from the first bullet. 21 heard that one of the shooters got paralyzed, but he's not sure what happened to the other one.
Tell me how you got shot.
I'm with my best friend. We in the car. It's my birthday. Somebody opened the back door like, "Draw down." He didn't say nothing. He just started. A whole bunch of shots go off. I end up shot. He end up dead. Another one of them end up being shot. I get out the car, run, knock on somebody's door, but I can't move this arm. Like, this arm over with. Motherfucker can't come to the door. I run back to the car, grab my phone. Police pull up. I get out the car, and I start walking towards police. Police draw down. I'm like, "Look, bro, I just got shot in this arm. I can't put this arm in the air. I can only put this arm in the air." Ambulance pull up. They put me on the stretcher, cut my clothes off. After that, that's just changed, and that's when I really started rapping.
This incident was just the latest in a series of losses for 21. He'd already lost his close friend Larry 2 years earlier. According to Kevin, when he found out his...
I ain't gonna lie, that shit fucked up. But it be crazy, like, the most successful people, they always go through the hardest shit. Like, you know what I mean? Real transparency is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, God really be putting people through the toughest shit, and then they become the most successful people. Like, no bullshit. Like,
Son had been shot, he was at work, and immediately started crying. His wife asked what he was going to do, and Kevin says he called to speak to 21 first to find out what his son wanted him to do. When he got on the phone with 21, who was on methadone, which Kevin points out is a truth serum, he asked his son what he wanted. Should he come to America, or what did 21 need? But here's where it gets complicated. Kevin says 21 told him no, he didn't want his father to come. But 21 has said in interviews that his father never even tried to come, never showed up at the hospital, and that if his son ever got shot, he'd be on the first plane regardless of where he was in the world.
People say you should have just went out there.
Just go.
What hospital was he in?
Find out when you get there.
See, even this nigga was saying the same thing. Like, bro, that's how I feel. Like, bro, if you really standing on that shit behind your kid, bro, you gonna make a way to do whatever for him, however for him. So, like, it go both ways. I understand that shit. Like, coming from 21, like, bro, like, I'm a grown man now. Like, nigga, fuck you. Like, I ain't had you all this time. You could be in my life and say you was my dad for the time being, but, like, bro, when I needed you the most, you weren't there. You know what I'm saying? I really feel that shit, though. Like, you know what I mean? Real shit.
From who?
From the papers, probably. He's famous, isn't it?
No, this was before he's
it was
famous.
before. Yeah, but you find out, man. Come on, man.
Even
From
he telling
who?
him.
This is Atlanta. Who?
The same way you phoned him, if you texted him, say, I'm in the airport, blood. Or, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's a bit different, innit? I'm in America, but come on, man.
Kevin's defense is
Tell
logical
him.
but cold.
Tell him, that nigga,
He
like,
didn't know
bro,
what
you can
hospital
do whatever you
21 was
want.
in, didn't know his address, and couldn't just fly to Atlanta and wander around looking for his son. He also points out that at the time, he had 4 other children in London, including a 6-year-old who was being diagnosed with autism, and he couldn't abandon them to fly to America indefinitely. The most heartbreaking part of Kevin's story is what happened in 2020. Kevin's other son, Terrell, 21's younger brother, was stabbed to death in London at age 27. This tragedy led to Kevin and 21 speaking for the first time in years. Kevin describes this period as bittersweet. He loved talking to his son again, but he hated that it took his other son's death to make it happen.
It hurts me for the fact that it's all the interviews he done after when I was in my worst state. That's what hurts me. It's after the loss, then came all the my dad this, my dad that, my dad this, my dad that. Man, have some empathy. I just lost your brother. There's no reason to put me down even more.
Kevin was literally dealing with his son's body under a white sheet at 7 o'clock when he got the call from 21. He told his son, "I love speaking to you, but I hate the way it happened. You're only speaking to me because he's gone." They spoke for 2 weeks, and during this time, Kevin even got to meet his grandchildren via FaceTime, his 2 grandsons, though he couldn't meet his granddaughter because the baby mother wouldn't allow it. 21 invited his father to come visit him in America, and Kevin was ready to go. He emphasizes that this invitation meant everything to him because it was coming directly from his son, not through someone else telling him what he should do. But then something happened that Kevin won't fully explain in detail. He mentions that 21 sent him a text about $10, claiming that Kevin never sent him $10 when he needed it. Kevin's response is that if 21 wanted $10, he would have sent it, and that 21 should check his mother's bank account because every money transfer Kevin ever sent had his name on it as a reference. After this text exchange, 21 cut off all communication again. Kevin found out through Instagram that 21 was in the Dominican Republic with a girl, and he figured he'd wait for his son to come back from vacation to continue their conversation. But 21 never reached out again.
At that point in time, did you think about putting everything else aside and try to reestablish a relationship with the father?
I did, and we got on the phone, and he started doing some things that rubbed me the wrong way. Like just asking me for shit, like too early, and like I kind of like fell back, and then like, you know, like when I do interviews, these questions come up, and I'm truthful, so I think that might have rubbed him the wrong way.
Kevin points out that 21 couldn't leave America because of his immigration case, but the Dominican Republic is considered part of America for travel purposes. Kevin makes some serious accusations about what he calls parental alienation. He claims that from the time 21 was 4 years old, his mother was trying to get him to call his stepfather dad in Hebrew, Abu. Kevin says 21 didn't like this and resisted, but the mother kept pushing this narrative that the stepfather was more of a father to 21 than Kevin was. This is where Kevin's story gets really deep into family psychology. He points out that when parents break up, there's often an expectation that the father has to do more to maintain the relationship, while the mother gets to stay in the same house with the child every day. Kevin argues that this creates an unfair dynamic where fathers are always playing catch up and can never do enough to satisfy the mother's demand.
Nah, I feel it. I feel it. No matter how much money you got and shit like that, bro. He definitely 100% right, bro. Like, for real, for real. Once you break up with the female, whatever, whatnot, that shit really do be like catch up. And I don't know that shit from experience or something like that. Like, but I do know it from experience because it did happen. But like, y'all know what I'm saying, bro. That shit is catch up though. I understand what he's saying. Like, you just catching up with your loved one. Like, that should be crazy.
Kevin also addresses the fact that 21 doesn't speak to anyone on his father's side of the family. Not his grandparents, not his aunts and uncles, not his cousins, nobody. When 21's brother Terrell died, Kevin says that 21 had reached out to Terrell on his birthday and got a response for the first time. But by then, it was too late to build a real relationship. The pattern Kevin describes is one where the mother systematically cut 21 off from his entire paternal family, not just his father. This goes beyond a simple custody dispute. This is about erasing an entire side of a child's heritage and family connections. Kevin also addresses how 21's success in music has been built partly on lies about their relationship. He points out that he could have exposed 21 as an illegal immigrant years ago when he first started getting famous. But he chose not to because he didn't want to hurt his son's career. Kevin says he's proud of what 21 has achieved and happy that his grandchildren will be set for life. But he's hurt by the way 21 has used his platform to spread lies about their relationship.
Me and my daddy in like a weird place because he got his side of how he look at it. I got my side of how I look at it. Like I kind of understand, like, okay, if your child moved to another country, it's kind of hard type shit. But from a child point of view, all I can do is go off the emotion that I felt as a child. Like, I can't tell you how I would feel about it as an adult.
Right.
Because the hurt come from when I was a child. You feel what I'm saying?
Particularly painful was when 21 released music after Terrell's death that continued to disparage Kevin, even though Kevin was grieving the loss of his other son. Kevin specifically mentions a song where 21 rapped, "My mama broke my daddy broke my mama heart when she carried me," and Kevin stopped listening to his son's music after that. He felt like 21 was telling the world information about something that happened 28 years ago, bringing up old relationship drama that should have been left in the past. Kevin also points out the irony of 21's success. Here's someone who claims his father wasn't there for him, but now 21 can't do regular father activities with his own children because of his fame and the dangerous lifestyle he's portrayed in his music. Kevin asks a pointed question: how can you take your kids to the park or the local shop when you've spent years telling the world you're a gangster? He points out that 21 needs security everywhere he goes and can't move freely because of the image he's created. Kevin emphasizes that money can't cure everything. Sure, 21 can afford better cars, houses, and food, but he's lost so many friends along the way: Larry, Johnny, Terrell, and others. Kevin says he wishes 21 didn't have to go through hell and high water to get where he is, and he wishes 21 could bring back all the people he's lost. The most powerful part of Kevin's message is his emphasis on communication. He argues that relationships are built on communication, and if you can't talk to someone on the phone, being in person won't make a difference. He's been trying to maintain communication with his son for over 2 decades, but it takes 2 people to have a relationship. So there you have it, fam. Kevin Emmons' side of the story paints a completely different picture of 21 Savage's childhood and their relationship. According to Kevin, he was a present father for the first 7 years of 21's life, tried to maintain contact across continents, paid for phone bills and visits, and has been systematically lied about by his son for years. The question is, who do you believe? Is this a case of a deadbeat dad trying to rewrite history now that his son is famous? Or is this a father who's been the victim of
it
parental
look like he don't even want no
alienation
bread
and
from him, he
character
just want the
assassination?
relationship with his
Kevin's
mom.
detailed account, the emotion he shows when telling his story, and the specific examples he provides suggest there's definitely more to this situation than 21 has let on. What's clear is that this is a family torn apart by distance, miscommunication, and possibly manipulation. Kevin ends his interview by saying he just wants his son to pick up the phone and talk to him. He's not asking for money or fame. He just wants a relationship with his child and his grandchildren.
Listen, there's only one thing I need to say, and I've said it to you on the phone. Shea, I love you, and I want the best for you. That's all I need to say. I want the best for you, and I love you. I'll never stop loving you. I'll never stop loving you from the time it was 7:36 on October the 22nd. That's exactly the day with time he was born. I've never stopped loving that boy. I love that boy with all my heart. What are you talking about?
What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this opened your eyes to a different...
Like, comment, subscribe, man. TB2, man. Y'all know what the fuck going on, man. We out, man. Comment, man. Y'all tell me what I should react to next, man. TB2, man. Y'all know what the fuck going on.